Right then, this is Joe Leigh here for Seconds Out. Absolutely delighted to be joined by John Ryder today. Of course, going into enemy territory to face the biggest name in the sport, Canelo Alvarez, very soon, under a month to go. John, good to speak to you, mate.
Yeah, no, good to speak to you, mate. It's nice to be speaking to you now. The fight's made and can confirm all the speculation and yes, full steam ahead.
Yeah, we saw obviously the press conference has gone down. Have you found the media, the big nature of this fight so far?
Obviously, I mean, I've had big fights before, but nothing on this magnitude. Yeah, everything is that bit more, that bit bigger, and that bit more special, I guess. Yeah,
How many times have you watched Rocky in the build-up?
mate. You know what? I haven't, but I was lucky enough to go to the Creed premiere the other week, so that
Yeah.
that was good. Played a part. But yeah, I'm sure I'll get Rocky Four in there sometime beforehand.
Yeah. The tagline is the king is coming home.
Yep.
If you was to win and get the rematch, what do you think the tagline should be?
I didn't realize I was from Mexico. No, what return back in the UK after this?
Yeah.
Um, the king is finally home. Don't know.
I like that. That's cheeky. Do you feel there was a time where what we're talking about, the momentous occasion that's going to be happening May 6th, was far away from you? Obviously, the fight with Callum Smith was so close. Everyone's talked about that enough now, but you thought you win. A lot of people thought you won, and then COVID hit. Was there a time where you thought this wasn't possible?
Oh, for sure, yeah. Listen, many times before the Callum Smith fight, even the losses I had to the likes of Nick Blackwell
Yeah.
and Jack Arnfield and whatnot, and it's there was times when yeah, I had to avoid myself and just think, what are you getting out of this? What are you doing it for? And is there nothing else for you? And obviously weighed up the pros and cons and stuck with it. And I mean, thankfully I did because I've now been delivered the biggest fight in the super division for myself and against the pound for pound number one. I don't know if he's number one at the moment, but the pound for pound in number one in the super middleweight division and for all the marbles. So something in me, whether it be I don't know, pride, determination, stupidity, kept me in this sport, and it's paid off.
Yeah, sometimes you need a bit of that. I'm not sure if delusional will be the word, but just blind faith in what you want and you want that to succeed. Obviously, sometimes you need a bit of that. I want to go back to the Zach Parker fight. Obviously, it was fairly close, but there was that outburst of emotions for you when the fight was stopped. Was that because you knew that this was next? You were the mandatory now for the super middleweight title, WBO.
No, mate. I think that initially was obviously when the referee come to me and said
Yeah,
he's hurt his hand. I thought, well, what happens here? Like it was a bit strange for me. I didn't know if it was going to like go to the judges' scorecards and with like how they'd have it. So I felt like I was possibly being like
uh,
legged up a bit. So I was a bit like, well, what's happening? So when it was, I was told it was like a withdrawal from their corner. I was buzzing. Do you know what I mean? It was like because I mean, defeat at that stage, like imagine being done on the scorecard there from like in a 4 round fight, um, would have just been demoralising. Do you know what I mean? So not that I've had to rebuild because I felt at the time that I was winning that fight. I was in control when I
yeah,
was starting to pull away. So it wouldn't have been a rebuilding process. But it's like how many times can you go to the well?
yeah. Now, the Canelo fight, of course, is on Cinco de Mayo weekend. You've been in enemy territory in the sense that obviously fighting Callum Smith in Liverpool, this is a different level. But how do you feel like that experience can prepare you for this?
I think the Mexican fans they're real fight fans. I liken them probably like the Irish. Like I don't think they really care who's winning or what's happening as long as they're seeing a good fight. So I think as long as you're putting it all on the line, leaving it all in the ring, come fight night. I think listen, I might enter the ring to some booze, but as long as I go in there, put my best foot forward and put on a show, then I'm sure I'll come out to some cheers.
How do you plan on getting the win? Because obviously it's no secret sometimes going to Canelo, the distance with Canelo can be a bit of an issue? Obviously, we've seen some of the scorecards haven't always been fair.
I think the luxury was obviously in the contract. We've got neutral judges, neutral
Yeah,
referees, so that's a blessing. But then I think also a blessing is when we see with the Bivol fight that I can't remember what the scorecards were specifically, but we saw the right man win on the night, and I think that was not a problem. Like that could have been a big problem for boxing if it had been had over that night.
yeah, for sure. We've obviously got a few press conferences to come, but the one that happened so far, did you take anything from this?
No, I mean there's no niceties, no pleasantries exchanged. It's just strictly business. And I think that's the way it's got to be. It's the way I like it to be. You can shake hands before and after the fight, but when you're in there, it's made the best man win.
Do you think he's overlooking you?
Um, Potentially. I mean, there's always talks of what's next for him, the Bivol rematch with the Benavidez fight. So listen, I hope he's not. I hope he's taking me serious. I'm taking him very serious, and I'm training hard. I've brought in the best sparring partner I can, and I've got the best team around me. Dan Lawrence, Tony Sims, Charlie Sims. We've got the best around us. So listen, it's good. I've moved out from home for 3 weeks to be in Essex to train. I'm
Mm.
sharing a flat with Joe Cordina. So listen, we're all making sacrifices. So this is it's now and ever for me.
Yeah, I hear you're training 3 times a day, and this is obviously going to be the biggest fight of your career. Everyone says in the build up to their fights that they've trained as hard as possible. But when there is a fight of this magnitude, what else can you do and what else are you doing? Because as much as Zach Parker is a huge fight, is there more things that you are doing, or I guess in some sense, can you do any more? If you know where I'm coming from.
No, I think just listen. It's always the thing of train hard, but train smart as well. Sometimes you got to pull back a little bit. Less is more at times. So I'm listening to the body. I'm seeing the chiropractor a couple of times a week. I'm having a couple of massages a week, just keeping my body in tip top condition, eating the right foods at the right times, and fueling for every session. So I think a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter. I'm very happy at the moment. And obviously now a little over 3 weeks now till fight night, and I'm jumping at a bit. I can't wait to get out to Vegas to finish up camp there and then head to Guadalajara for fight week.
Who's the main sparring partner you talk about?
He's up my sleeve. He's top secret.
Okay.
Um, he's been a blessing so far. I've had 4 spars with him so far. Got another 2 this week, and then he'll be back home. But it's been a great spar.
Can you reveal whether he's fought Canelo before
He
previously?
hasn't. No, he's not previously fought Canelo, but I'm sure he'd like to.
Yeah, fair play. Well, it's going to be an incredible fight, and I'm obviously looking forward to it. And everyone from the UK is expecting and rooting for you. Just in other news in boxing, Amir Khan, obviously in the last week, we've only just heard about the positive substance. Were you surprised? What was your reaction to that?
Well, listen. Obviously, I'm a friend of Conor Benn, so I've seen and heard the treatment he received. And listen, if that's your way you're going to treat Conor, then that's the way you should treat everyone. But it's not the attitude to have. Do you know what I mean? I know Conor's innocent, and I should be of the same thing that Amir Khan is potentially innocent. I don't know his situation. The only thing that I do know is that a year and a half has gone past now. He's already served the year of his ban, and it's only now come to public knowledge. So I think Kell Brook only found out last week as well. So that's not right. That needs to be changed. But what more can you say? Really, it's just things need to be a bit more. I don't know. Put out in the open. If Boxer made it said they didn't know and Kell's only just found out, then it's not right, is it?
Yeah, I think that is kind of the overall opinion as well. Obviously, with Conor, he's been removed from the Ring Magazine ranking, but moved up in the WBC. So it's still an up and down period for him. But we're here in June 3rd, potentially Middle East, Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, well, listen, I hope so. I hope he can get his name cleared and get back to fighting because he's a young man. He's still got a lot to give in this sport. And listen, whether you believe him or not, I do believe him. And I want to see him back to doing what he loves.
No, we spoke a minute ago about how you, at times during COVID and even before with losses, you just never knew where your career would go. But do you feel like being in the core gym that the family that the Matchroom gym has helped you get to this point as well? Everyone involved in the gym. Do you feel like the family that you've built gets these big nights as well and can get you these big opportunities and helped your career progress so much?
Um, yes and no. I mean, because sometimes it's hard to sit by and you see other people having big fights, and listen, you're happy for them. Don't get
Ah,
me wrong,
okay.
but then you're thinking, well, why ain't I getting that
Why
opportunity?
not
And
me?
listen, I get it. You got George Liddard there, Maisie Rose. They've had 2 fights, and they'll fight anyone. They want to take on the Canelos of this world, and so
I don't know if
listen.
Maisie should fight Canelo, but
Yeah, well, yeah, you never know, but like you said, these like baby steps, but then it's like they would genuinely like if you gave them a call tomorrow and said you can fight Katie Taylor or Kelly, they'd jump at the chance. Do you know what I mean? So it's just the way the sport works, isn't it? Obviously, I've got myself into a great position again now, and like I said, the biggest fight for me out there is the Canelo fight, and I've now got it after hard work, dark days, and whatnot. But yeah, it's been hard. Obviously, we've seen the boys go from success to success, and it's been. You look back, it's been a great time, but at the time, it is hard to take at times. Like you want to wish the boys the best, but when you're sitting around scratching and not knowing what's next for you, it's a bit hard at times.
yeah. Um, Finally, just to end off, then I remember covering the Daniel Jacobs fight, and Eddie kind of mentioned how a loss would not be good for either fighter, potentially waving farewell, etc., etc. If you were to not get the nod this time around, do you feel like that would be the end of a great career, or have you not sort of looked past May the 6th yet?
I've not looked past it yet. I mean, I'm 34 now, 35 in July. I've always said as long as I'm winning and doing well, then I'll continue. But we've just got to take each fight as it comes now. Um, you never know. It's every fight could be my last. Just depends on how it goes.
Well, we're all looking forward to seeing it. It's obviously on the zone, and everyone's going to be tuning in, and cannot wait to see it going over to. Not sure if you'd say the Lions' Den, but Guadalajara is certainly going to be an incredible atmosphere under a month to go, John. Can't wait, and best of luck, mate.
No, buzzing. Thank you, mate, and thanks for the support and always getting me on and promoting me. So thank you very much.
Top man, thank you. Good
Cheers.
man.